Let's start from the beginning about the situation of COVID. Today, the Center for Disease Control in Addis Ababa has released a statement saying that Africa has about 135, give or take, people who have tested positive for COVID-19, and give or take about 3,500 have succumbed to it. But what they don't tell us is that many of those individuals who have succumbed to COVID-19 have underlying conditions, or what are described in medical terms as comorbidities. What that tells us is that the virus is not as virulent in Africa as it has been in the United States of America or in Europe, specifically in Italy or in Spain. But it also tells us that perhaps across the continent, we have reacted a lot more responsibly and effectively than the rest of the world. And because the continent of Africa has been a continent that has been targeted for negative things, Europe and America are surprised that there are not as many deaths as they said there would be. The doomsday scenario that they painted about Africa, courtesy, one may say, by divine intervention, and one may say by our very own act, has not turned out to be the case. But that should warn us, knowing as we do that we are not the beloved of these other civilizations, our guards should now be up, so that if there is another virus, wherever it comes from, whether it's manufactured in laboratories, as conspiracy theorists may want to say, or it comes by dint of nature, we should now be prepared to ensure that our health systems are up to scratch, to ensure that we invest in research, to ensure that we are coordinated across the continent, and to ensure that we are, to the extent that is humanly possible, not affected adversely by COVID-19 and indeed any other viruses that may succeed COVID-19. And I think that countries must be commended. I know that, of course, there has been almost a prescription of one size fits all, but a few countries have adopted different approaches with different severity. But the African countries are now beginning to open up. South Africa is opening up, Botswana is opening up, Rwanda is opening up, Tanzania has opened up, Burundi opened up, and even did have an election. And my good friend Aishimiye has been elected as the president of Burundi, despite the protestations of the country. So the continent is moving apace, COVID-19 notwithstanding.
Correct.
But,
go ahead.
Yes, please. But, and you had mentioned this, even as we appear to be conquering COVID-19,